The very warmest of welcomes to you indeed to match day 5 in Group E of the AFC Champions League Two, the inaugural edition of this competition, and the setting is the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila as Kaya FC-Iloilo face Sanfrecce Hiroshima. The top two teams in the group will advance to the round of 16, and Sanfrecce are secure of a place in that aforementioned knockout stage. Kaya now have to do everything they can to pick up an unlikely win against Sanfrecce Hiroshima, having lost 3-0 to them in Japan on the opening match day. This would be a huge accomplishment for the team from the Philippines if they are to beat Sanfrecce, who are in pursuit of the Japanese domestic title at the moment. They are 3 points behind leaders Vissel Kobe, second in the table. And maybe then the Kaya FC-Iloilo fans can hope that some of the Japanese players are pressurised by the league situation and might take their eye off the ball, metaphorically or literally, in this fixture today. There have been some changes made to the starting lineup by Michael Schibert, the manager of Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Does that provide a chance for the Kaya FC-Iloilo players? It would be an enormous victory. Their win against Eastern in the last match day was their first after 19 straight losses in AFC competition. They haven't had the most fabulous time of things in the group stage of AFC tournaments, the mighty Kaya, but they put themselves in a position to get to the round of 16 with a surprise win today. It would be a surprise, but we get lots of them in AFC competition, so you just never know. Quite a journey for the spectators from the city of Hiroshima to come here, but also quite a journey to Manila from those resident in Iloilo City, where Kaya are based. Very much in a different part of the country. This stadium, the Rizal Memorial Stadium, was built in 1934. It's been renovated on 7 occasions, including a few years ago, most recently. And it's hosted so many AFC matches over the years. And back in years gone by, it hosted the athletics competitions at the 1954 Asian Games. And there was total domination by guess which nation? Japan, in those athletics events at the Asian Games. 17 gold medals, 43 medals in total, 39 more than second place India. So it doesn't matter what the sport, Japan has performed very, very well in this stadium over the years. And the visiting fans are very confident. They're going to see some players they haven't seen a lot domestically this season. A chance for some youngsters in the Sanfrecce team to really impose themselves and to make a case for being more involved across all competitions next year. As the banner says, we fear no foe. And they have been fearless so far in Group E. 4 out of 4 wins. And 3 of them have been particularly tough too. 3 by just 1 goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the teams of Sanfrecce Hiroshima of Japan.
The AFC Champions League Two, the first ever edition of this great new competition, as Asian football has changed, but it still delivers the excitement it always has done. There's always room for upsets, there's always the possibility of a surprise. Will we get one today as Kaya FC-Iloilo of the Philippines host Sanfrecce Hiroshima of Japan? Sanfrecce are through already to the round of 16 in this first edition of the AFC's new look Champions League. Can Kaya FC-Iloilo capitalise on complacency, or will the visitors prove why it is that they have been so dominant in the group stage? We'll find out in just a matter of moments. They are comfortably the favourites, with quite a lot of experience in the team, gentlemen like him. Youngsters too, though. A goalkeeper who hasn't played a great deal for Sanfrecce. It's over to them to see what they can do, to see whether they can threaten the overwhelming favourites. A record for Kaya of 7 wins, 5 draws, 11 losses in 37 AFC matches. Sanfrecce Hiroshima playing for the 6th time in continental competition, their first since 2019. Captains Ordi Menzi and Yusuke Chajima leading their teammates down the line as we get ready for kickoff at the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila. The stadium named after Jose Rizal. Patrick Dato keeps goal for the Lions. The 34-year-old is appearing for the 23rd time in an AFC competition. Centre-back Akito Saito, who wears number 3, is one of 4 Japanese players in the starting 11. Yu Hoshide has several club veterans on the bench, including number 23 Simone Rota, a 40-year-old fullback who scored in the Champions League last year. Omar Al-Yakubi, 37, in charge of an all-Omani team, and he's been a FIFA referee since 2013. He's from Ad Dahira in the northwest of Oman, one of the 11 governorates. As expected, there are quite a few changes to the Sanfrecce team. Goalkeeper Yudai Tanaka plays for the club for just the 3rd time today, and it's a debut for 18-year-old defender Shota Kofi, who wears number 31. There are 2 other 18-year-olds on the pitch too. In reserve are a lot of big names if required, including 3-time J-League winner and club legend Toshihiro Aoyama, who wears number 6. And there he is, Akito Saito, the vice-captain of Kaya FC-Iloilo. One of a couple of vice-captains, and Shota Kofi, the 18-year-old who makes his debut for the club. He has played for the Japan under-19 national team, though, quite recently. Patrick Dato returned to the national team last year for the first time in a decade, a remarkable story. And Sanfrecce Hiroshima do have players like Marcos Junior wearing number 10 on the pitch, a J-League winner and joint top goal scorer for the Yokohama F. Marinos in 2019. Moments away from match day 5 in the Champions League Two. The very warmest of welcomes to you indeed. The setting is the Rizal Memorial Stadium as Kaya FC-Iloilo of the Philippines meet Sanfrecce Hiroshima of Japan. It's the East region of the AFC Champions League Two, match day number 5, and it is Sanfrecce Hiroshima in the lighter kit and in the better mood because they sit at the top of the group with 4 out of 4 wins. Kaya with just 1 win in 4 fixtures. Yu Hoshide, head coach of Kaya Iloilo, Japanese. It's his second spell in charge of the club. He was responsible for the team between 2020 and 2023, and then returned after the departure of Colin Curtis this year. Did play in the Japanese lower leagues, a graduate of Meiji University. And Michael Shikiba is the head coach of Sanfrecce Hiroshima, 12 years older at 59 than Yu Hoshide. Very clearly Yotaro Nakajima offside. He's been in charge for a good couple of years now, the German, having had a lot of jobs in his career, including managing the Greek national team. Number 36 for Sanfrecce Hiroshima, Alan Inoue, just 18, one of 3 18-year-olds in the starting lineup. He has played 4 times as a late sub in the league this season. And the only time he's played 90 minutes actually was against Kaya on match day 1, where Sanfrecce won 3-0 in Japan. Number 31 is Shota Kofi, debut for the club today. And a little pressure here on Saito, and he's done well. He'll have to contend with a fair amount of pace in the Sanfrecce attack. Keep an eye on number 16, Takaki Shichi, very good at getting forward from full-back. Touched on by 14, Shuto Komaki. As I mentioned earlier, 4 Japanese players in the Kaya starting 11. Makoto Mitsuta. That will be a goal kick. 25-year-old Mitsuta. He spent his whole professional career at Sanfrecce. Graduate of the famous Ryutsu Keizai University, one of the pioneering football institutions in Japan, and the last of the universities to actually play in the JFL, the level below the J-League. It's a pretty good indicator of the calibre of player that somebody is if they've come through Ryutsu Keizai. Back by Kohei Hosoya, wearing number 34. '88 for Kaya FC is Kaishi Yamazaki. And Sanfrecce hoping to do what their opponents today have done twice in a row now, which is be domestic league champions. 3 points behind leaders Vissel Kobe. Here is Yamazaki again. Nice idea, that ball. Daiso Horikoshi wears number 10, and that's a really impressive idea. They weren't too far away from getting that spot on. As players pull back. Well, just look at this earlier chance. Horikoshi with the ball in. Looking for Lucas del Rosario. A graduate of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Takaki Shichi goes all the way to Mitsuta. What a fine effort. Actually, it was the captain Yusuke Chajima who hit it. Not a bad ball, that, from Shichi. He hasn't played a great deal this season, Yusuke Chajima. Despite having spent his whole career at the club, he's been something of a fringe player over the last couple of seasons. Hosoya. Marco Junior linking up with Mitsuta. Good chance here to be put in. Oh, it's wide from Yotaro Nakajima. Good link up between the experienced Marco Junior and Makoto Mitsuta. And the space emerged very enticingly for Nakajima, who scored his first senior goal in the 3-2 win at Eastern. First really good chance, that, for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Meanwhile, at the other end, Horikoshi. Good delivery, well defended too from Hiroya Matsumoto. Well, they think it should be a corner kick, the Kaya players, especially Lucas del Rosario. Clearly touches Matsumoto. And they did get the corner kick. Seemed to be a bit of confusion. Good counter-attack from Kaya, leading to this chance for Daiso Horikoshi. Delivery not too bad, but cleared by the very tall Shota Kofi. And then thumped high and wide. The Rizal Memorial Stadium. As Tanaka chooses to use his head, is named after a gentleman who used his head a lot, a great intellectual, Jose Rizal, a polymath and real national hero of the Philippines. Passed away in 1896. It's part of a wider sports complex. And all of it located in the Malate district of Manila. Very much the commercial centre of the capital city of the Philippines. Hosoya back to Yuday Tanaka, who turned 29 about a week and a half ago. Shichi. Well done by Yamazaki to his fellow countryman Shuto Komaki, league champion in Singapore before coming to the Philippines, and he's distributed that well to Horikoshi, who's really using his pace to be troublesome for Sanfrecce. Some promising signs, certainly, from FC-Iloilo. Takaki Shichi. Hosoya. Gets it back, the 22-year-old who's yet to play in the league. So a big opportunity for him in this competition. And he spoke before the match, Yu Hoshide, just how excited he was to be facing Sanfrecce. How he was personally relishing the challenge, how his players were as well. How they knew they still had a possibility of making it through to the round of 16, and that was a great motivator to them. Gosh, he really did thump straight into the knee of Hosoya. Bit of a bruising one for Saito, but he looks okay. Kofi, good control. Back under control by captain Audi Menzi. Again, just little signs of the counter-attacking threat that exists from the team from the Philippines. They're going to have to be vigilant, Sanfrecce. And there is Audi Menzi, 30-year-old who spent his whole career at the club. Really important figure in a team that has had quite a few changes over the last few years as they've really strengthened their squad. Shichi, put under pressure, but he gets the ball to Hosoya. Marcos Jr. making the run and getting the header. Just wide. the player who has only scored twice actually in AFC continental competition. Well, he found the space, and frankly from that sort of position you would have backed him to find the net. Hasn't been the easiest spell of late for Marcos Junior. He's barely played really since joining Sanfrecce after that 5-year spell at the Marinos. Very successful spell too. Shichi. And here he is again, the 30-year-old fullback. Saito. He certainly fouled there. Makoto Mitsuda with the rather sheepish reaction to what was a clear foul. Forward by Patrick Dato. Again, it's Horikoshi who is the main target to create chances. He's a fabulous goal scorer as well, by the way. Was the Golden Boot and Golden Ball winner when they won the league for the first time in the 2022-2023 season. Probably fair to say an even better creator in the role that he performs in the Kaya team. And he has nearly linked up with number 30 Lucas Del Rosario on a couple of occasions already. Horikoshi. Arriving is Shuto Komaki, and Shuto Komaki has put it in! Well, someone has. Whether it was Komaki who got the crucial touch, only he knows. But it's irrelevant because Kaya are ahead. And all of that came from, yet again, Daiso Horikoshi breaking down the left wing. It may have been Eric Esso who actually put it over the line, just to be sure, but let's have a look. So Horikoshi scampering into the area was Komaki, and he got a little fortune, didn't he? Because it actually came off his right foot, back onto his trailing left. Have a look at this, there, and then the second touch. Don't know whether there was a touch as well from Kohei Hosoya. Certainly Esso did make contact with the ball. It's just whether it was over the line or not. This might tell us a little more. Oh, it's tough to tell, isn't it? Whether that had fully gone over the line before Esso stuck his big toe out. It's being given anyway for now to Shuto Komaki, and if confirmed it will be his first ever continental goal. Well, I mentioned earlier on in the match on a couple of occasions that you have to be really vigilant for the counter when you're playing Kaya, and when Horikoshi is bursting down the left wing. They've got a very clear strategy, the team from the Philippines, and it just worked. And how thrilled they were to have re-signed him in September after he left the club in January to go to Thailand, to Trat in Thai League One. His first spell at the club started in 2020 when he left Albirex Niigata in Singapore. Komaki. And although the credit will go to Horikoshi for that brilliant run, the run by Komaki was pretty good too, as a free kick has been won on the edge of the area by the home team. Shuto Komaki arrived perfectly to meet that ball from Horikoshi. Clear foul on Jesus Melisa. Now will it be Melisa with the left? Two very clear options. Which will it be? It's Melisa! Very good effort. Not too far away from being a second. That looked as though it was going to bend all the way in. Very close to being Jesus Melisa's first ever goal in continental competition in his 17th match. And he is from La Paz, which is a district of Iloilo City. He's absolutely a local player. One was being made there by Eric Esso, number 25. The Ghanaian who joined the club from Ashanti Gold. Also played for Heart of Lions in his home country. Really did clatter into the ankle of Daiso Horikoshi. Halfway stage of the first half, and a very enjoyable match it is. And he has been the key performer so far. Horikoshi with the free kick from deep. Challenging for the goalkeeper, but he makes light of it. Needed somebody really to go and attack it to put Yudai Tanaka under more pressure. Good idea, just a little overhit, uncomfortable for Dato. powerful presence in the air, Shota Kofi. Now half an opportunity here, and really well defended. That was a dangerous one. Saito doing excellently, because Alan Inoue is very capable of out-sprinting a lot of players. And now the counter once again, different sort of counter-attack. Rosario to Park, and the deflection, I think there might have just been a little touch there off Osoya, could have made it tricky for Tanaka. A little better though for Sanfrecce, and that's offside. Touch on was from Marcos Junior. Not really any debate about that, as Inoue didn't get his shot right at all anyway. Tricky match this for the young players that have been put into the team. Up against a home side, desperate for the sort of performance that puts them back into knockout stage contention. And there is an intensity about Kaya FC-Iloilo that is proving very compelling at the moment. There's no doubt that there is the sort of quality that's capable of finding a goal or two in the Sanfrecce team, and that nearly found Marcos Junior. Again, it's Akito Saito, the vice-captain, doing great work at the back. Had to make contact with that, because surely it was heading in. If that had found Marcos Junior, it would have been a real surprise if on that occasion he hadn't managed to get the ball on target. Corner kick to the visitors. It will be Makoto Mitsuda to take it. Forward from the back, Hiroya Matsumoto. Shota Kofi obviously a target. We've seen how good he can be in the air in midfield. Now what about in an attacking sense? Kofi will go for this. Certainly the right idea. Just seemed to come off his left shoulder more than anything else. Patrick Dato joined the club after a spell at Chonburi in Thailand. We have a look back at the key moment in the contest so far. The goal scored by Shuto Komaki, possibly with Eric Esso having a reasonable claim. But all immaterial. It was made by Horikoshi, it was finished by one of those two, and it puts Kaya FC Iloilo into the lead. necessity for a refreshment break as well. Temperature of close to 30 degrees in Manila. It's just gone beyond 8:30 in the evening. Actually quite a dry day, but forecast to get very rainy as the weekend comes, and to remain that way for some time. Kofi under pressure. Melisa. Esso. And just a goal kick. Shota Kofi was dispossessed. It was well won by Jesus Melisa. Esso thought he was brought down. Let's have a look at it again. Flick on by Del Rosario. Takes a touch off a defender. And he might feel that Sota Koshimichi actually went into the back of his leg and brought him down. No video review system in operation in the AFC Champions League Two. So we'll just leave that one in the ether. Saito didn't have life made hugely easy for him there by Park Yi-young, his own teammate. He's had a very good game so far, the 25-year-old from Japan. A little space for Marcos Junior. He provides a testing ball, very testing ball actually. Dato gets the deflection that came off Casambre. Touch of fortune, because it could quite easily have squirmed its way to Alan Inoue. Midsta across the face of goal invitingly. Marcos Junior put his head in his hands. It's a very enjoyable match. Finely balanced. Wouldn't be a surprise if their team equalised any minute now. It wouldn't be a surprise if Kai got another. That was one of those ones from Mitsuta that was neither too accurate to test him nor inaccurate enough to free Marcos Junior. Will the manager be tempted to bring on some of the big names on the substitutes bench for Sanfrecce Hiroshima at half-time? Or will he stick with these young players for a little while longer? They're certainly capable of getting back into the contest. Inoue wanting it, instead it goes to Takaki Shichi, and the whistle's long gone. Shichi too vigorous in his jump. Inoue was probably the better option. Shichi definitely puts his forearm onto the back of Park Yi-young's shoulders and neck. Can't really be too much complaint about it. Whistle had gone long before Marcos Junior put the ball in. Backed by the impressive Saito. Good covering play by Audi Menzi. Just to remind you that Sanfrecce are at the top of the group and guaranteed a place in the round of 16. Outside of the qualification places, outside of the top two by 3 points. Now that's attacked by Inoue. To no great harm to the Kaya FC goal. Good jump, just lacked the direction, but the idea was sound from the 18-year-old from Kanagawa Prefecture. It is right by Tokyo. As I mentioned earlier, only his 6th appearance for the club in all competitions, Alan Inoue. And just his 2nd start. Overlap will come here from Koshimichi. Instead, they go through the middle. Esso. And then cushion back to Dato by Park Yi-young. It's been quite an unthreatening first half for Patrick Dato, despite a reasonable amount of possession for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Tricky one for Kohei Hosoya. Horikoshi to Melissa. And another corner kick for Kaya FC-Iloilo. Surely he will be thrilled with how well this first half has gone. They weren't too far away from a second goal. Free kick from the gentleman who just won the corner kick, Jesus Melissa. It will be the in-swinger from 28-year-old Daiso Horikoshi. And it's going to be tricky, and it's going to be well defended. Kofi has plenty of time to find the right ball, opts to go short, and that's going to be offside. Yet again, Alan Inoue in a half-decent position, just got a little ahead of the line. But he's promising, isn't he? 5 minutes plus additional time remaining in the first half. You're watching the AFC Champions League Two, matchday 5 in the East region at the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila, as Kaya FC-Iloilo of the Philippines lead Japan Sanfrecce Hiroshima through a goal scored by a Japanese player, Shuto Komaki, set up by a Japanese player, Daizo Horikoshi. Melisa opts for the safe route of just thumping it away. It's picked up by Hiroya Matsumoto. On to Marcos Junior, but didn't find him. Captain Yusuke Chajima, part of the team that won the J1 title in 2015. That incredible spell of domination that Sanfrecce had, winning in 2012, 2013, and 2 years later. And then, in the 5 years after that, they were mostly a mid to low table team, while finishing second in 2018 and getting into the Champions League as a result. And then suddenly, third place over the last 2 seasons. And still challenging for the title, albeit not as convincingly as they were, with 2 fixtures to go in J1. Marcos Junior tried to find Mitsuta, and that's going to be a foul. Yet again, Takaki Shichi in the opposition penalty area. And again, a fairly clear-cut decision. Definite shove on Komaki. Graduated Shuto Komaki from Kyushu Sangyo University just a couple of years ago. Not a hugely well-known university for football. He was very much their key player. It's down in the far southwest of Japan on Kyushu Island. Frankly, there are worse things that you can do than just punt it forwards in the direction of Daizo Horikoshi on the left wing, because he'll always be troublesome with that sort of position. Taken by the captain, Odi Menzi. Esso. Sanfrecce substitutes behind the goal. Probably some of them suspecting their time's going to come sooner rather than later. Mitsuki Kato might be brought on. A player who scored 7 times in the league this season. We could well see Pieros Sotiriou as well, the Cypriot, who has matched that accomplishment of Kato, but in fewer games. Kofi plays it quickly to Shichi, who has to adjust his position. And good backtracking that from Kaishi Yamazaki. Inoue, slightly heavy touch. Now, how much additional time will Kaya FC-Iloilo have to endure? Only 2 minutes. And They need to be vigilant here. There's a decent opportunity, but just wouldn't drop quickly enough for a shot. So important now they just hold on to get to half-time ahead. Although they might have other plans. How is this attack still alive? Well, that's... I was about to say surely a foul by Kofi, but not in the judgment of Omar Al-Yacoubi. And he was much better placed to make that decision. Osoya. Important little touch by Casambre, but the ball still comes in, and Inoue plays it to, amazingly, Makoto Mitsuta, and it's gone out for a throw. He was onside in the first instance, Mitsuta, as they were looking for him. Inoue knocking it back to the number 11. Don't know if it came off Saito. Might have done. Difficult one for referee and assistant to clearly see. But that may explain why Mitsuta's effort was not hugely compelling in its accuracy. And it looks as though the home team will hold on and get to half-time ahead. What an excellent first half from Kaya FC-Iloilo, leading Sanfrecce Hiroshima, leading the leaders in the group, leading the team in pursuit of the J-League title. All of that due to Shuto Komaki's 18th minute goal after Daiso Horikoshi counter-attacked brilliantly down the left flank, and Eric Esso made absolutely certain of it. There have been some chances for Sanfrecce Hiroshima, not many. Patrick Dato hasn't really been pressurised enormously. All of that means at half-time it's Kaya FC-Iloilo 1, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 0.
title with a pathway to excellence in each. Get ready for electrifying matches and fierce competition where every victory paves the way to unimaginable heights. This is the AFC Champions League Two. On the way to the top, rivalries are born. New heroes emerge, paving the way to glory. 32 clubs battling from across Asia. AFC Champions League Two.
The setting is the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Kaya FC-Iloilo and Sanfrecce Hiroshima meeting in the AFC Champions League Two. It's match day 5 in the East region, and just the one goal so far, not the way one might have expected based on the league table coming into this match. Amazingly, in the 18th minute, Shuto Komaki put the ball beyond Yudai Tanaka with a touch of fortune and possibly with a touch from Eric Esso. All of that means that Kaya FC-Iloilo are in a position to actually challenge for the knockout stage. Their opponents are already guaranteed a place in the last 16. So a real test for these young players coming up in the second half. And changes are coming. Not a great surprise. First of all, Naoto Arai coming on. We're also seeing Taishi Matsumoto. And Shuto Nakano, who is now wearing the captain's armband. So Shota Kofi and Yusuke Chajima among the players who have departed. The start of the second half as Sanfrecce Hiroshima seek to level this contest. Kaya FC-Iloilo leading through Shuto Komaki's 18th minute goal, and 3 changes made at half-time by Michael Shibe. He has brought on Naoto Arai and Shuto Nakano in the defence, and Taishi Matsumoto further up the pitch. So decisive behaviour from the German head coach of Sanfrecce, and I don't think it's a great surprise considering the necessity to use some of the more experienced players. He's brought on a 28-year-old, a 26-year-old and a 24-year-old. So just a little more first team experience on the pitch now. Is Sota Koshimichi. And they're at right back at the moment is Shuto Nakano. Yeah, definite change to the look of things. And we have confirmation of those changes. So Takaki Shichi, the other player who has gone off, along with the aforementioned Chajima and Kofi. Shuto Nakano generally operates as a central defender. Another corner kick to Kaya FC-Iloilo. They've had quite a few of them. Captain Audi Menzi is forward. And it's Menzi who gets close to it. Now it's with Park Yi-young, and well defended. Another opportunity though for the home team, to the displeasure of Hiroya Matsumoto, who thought that it came off a Kaya player last. Melisa. Komaki, he's dispossessed. Still, Alan Inoue chosen to lead the line. No decision taken yet to bring on Mutsuki Kato or Piero Soteriu. Komaki trying to play in Horikoshi. If they hold on and win this, the team from the Philippines, it'll be 6 points with 2 fixtures to go. Concern here for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Medical assistance needed by the looks of things. Captain now is Shuto Nakano, wearing number 15, the defender who came on at half-time. Who, by the way, is a significant goal-scoring threat as well. He scored 5 this season. But having made changes at half-time, he may be required to make more. Yoshifumi Kashiwa preparing himself to come on. Veteran who won the J-League in 2015. Joined the club in 2014. So didn't get to enjoy their first 2 titles. But he's a very useful player to be able to bring on. This is taking some time, and it's right that it takes time, as long as it needs to take, in order for the medical staff to do their job safely and calmly. And so the change has to be made. And there is a player there who's obviously in real discomfort. And we hope that that discomfort can be alleviated as quickly as possible by the medical staff. So Naoto Arai, who had barely been on the pitch, has to be replaced by Yoshifumi Kashiwa. And I should just say as well that Naoto Arai has played a big role in the league this season. 32 appearances, 6 goals. He's really been having the best season of his career. And now, as the title quest is coming to its conclusion for Sanfrecce Hiroshima, to have to face the prospect of him not being a part of it is really regrettable. So he has been replaced by Kashiwa, who's making his 364th appearance for the club. A foul by Daiso Horikoshi. So we will have a fair amount of time to be added on at the conclusion of this match. And as I said earlier, just one hopes, that's all, that everything is okay ultimately for Naoto Arai, with minimal disruption to what has been a brilliant season. Nakajima moved it on to Taishi Matsumoto, number 14, who came on at half-time. Managed to beat the line there and stay onside. And the player that was intended for was Sota Koshimichi, who's only scored once for Sanfrecce Hiroshima. That was in the 3-2 loss at home to Nagoya Grampus on the 6th of May. Loose to Mitsuta, who goes from distance. Threatening moment from Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Nearly a 26th goal for the club from Makoto Mitsuta. Well, because of that early injury in the second half, I think it's fair to say the game hasn't quite found a natural rhythm since the restart. Hooked away to safety by Marco Casambre from Quezon City in the north of the Philippines, the most populous city in the country. Del Rosario to Eric Esso, flicking it back for Lucas Del Rosario, and his idea was a sound one to put it towards Shutokomaki. He needs a little assistance, nearly linking up with Park Hee-young. Not a bad move from FC-Iloilo. And still they come forward, and it was speculative, perhaps one might say. Keiichi Yamazaki, the player who hit it. He did score in the 2-1 loss at home to Easton from the penalty spot. Coming from Park Yi-young, a little pressure on the Kaya defence, but they've been sensible when under pressure. They haven't tried to be overly intricate with the ball. Very good judgment throughout this match from the home team. Horikoshi quickly moved that on, right idea. Melisa goes out to the right. Melisa wanting it back from Komaki. Instead it will be another corner kick to Kaya FC-Iloilo. As Yu Hoshide's players continue to work so hard with half an hour plus additional time remaining. And quite a chunk of additional time. They've certainly shown that from corner kicks and indeed from free kicks they can deliver balls that challenge Yudai Tanaka and that challenge the Sanfrecce defence. It will be Iloilo City's own Jesus Melisa with the ball. Matsumoto touching it. And then Rudy Menzi couldn't bring it down. So it's with Matsumoto as Sanfrecce Hiroshima really need to transform the dynamic of this match. They haven't changed a great deal since half-time, despite the switching around of players. Nothing wrong with the decision there from Yotaro Nakajima to try to flick that through to Makoto Mitsuta, but didn't have the right depth. Well, we look at the moment there where, oh goodness me, Naoto Arai just goes down with nobody anywhere near him, obviously with a serious problem. That really is awful to see. Well done to the medical staff for getting him off the field of play safely. Free kick will be taken by Marco Casambre, the graduate of the University of the Philippines. Quite a few of the Kaya players are university graduates. The goalkeeper has a degree in business management. And a sizable number of the Sanfrecce Hiroshima players are as well, as you would expect from a Japanese team where the universities are often feeders. So Robert Mendy on the right, coming on, replacing Lucas del Rosario. So two of the older players in the squad are about to make an appearance. Mendy, who was born in Dakar in Senegal, but who has Filipino citizenship. And Jesus Melisa is being replaced by Simone Rota. Rota, 40-year-old who scored in the Champions League last year, just under a year ago, in the 3-1 loss to Incheon United. He has an absolutely remarkable story, Simone Rota. He was left in an orphanage run by Franciscan sisters in November of 1984, adopted by taxi drivers in Italy. So started his career in the Italian leagues, Also played for Lugano in Switzerland briefly. And he still maintains a great link with his orphanage, volunteers there regularly. He's an enormously aspirational figure. And maybe quite useful to have these very experienced players on the pitch now. 17th continental appearance for Robert Mendy and 23rd for Simone Rota. Delivery of the corner kick coming from Shuto Komaki. Now Jesus Melisa is off the pitch and it was headed down by Saito. Defender in the right place there. Good leap from Akito Saito. It would be remarkable if he scored. He's not what you would call a hugely goal-scoring central defender, not compared to someone like Shuto Nakano. Well done by Casambre, but to his physical cost, he really stretched for that ball. He was in pain the moment that he finished that lunging tackle. And he had to time it perfectly, which he did, because Makoto Mitsuta would have been really in a great crossing position. Oh dear, that is so unfortunate. Goodness, that looked painful. Mitsuta, not malicious at all, just that happens to be in the air and happens to land in that position. No wonder Casambre is in that degree of pain. And there is Simone Rota, the substitute I was talking about earlier. Fortunately, it seems that Marco Casambre isn't too badly hurt. Here's Nakajima. Can anyone get the equalising goal for Sanfrecce Hiroshima? This is going to be tricky. And Koshimichi appeared rather unsighted, but couldn't finish. It's Koshimichi's 49th appearance for the club. And as I mentioned earlier, just the one goal. Nakajima again, 14, Taishi Matsumoto. And he's timed that run very well. Towards Mitsuta. And in the end, it's been put in by the young man, Alan Inoue. I think they thought, FC-Iloilo, that the danger of the shot had disappeared. Well, it was the ball that disappeared into the back of the net, courtesy of Alan Inoue. And it is 1-1. And what a special moment for Alan Inoue, a first ever goal as a senior player. Touched back by Mitsuta. And oh, that's so unfortunate. Well, Alan Inoue's first ever goal as a professional. Hardly the most intentional thing that he'll ever do in his career. But I suppose it's some payback for the fortune that Shitokomaki had. And now he's Inoue again. Well, no wonder that caught everybody by surprise. Matsumoto, good crossing position. It was Marcos Junior leaping. Two goals in this match with an element of fortune attached to them both, and yet linked by a really good run in a wide position by somebody who, I suppose you could say, asked the question simply by putting it across the penalty area. It's what Horikoshi did for Kaya's goal, it's what Mitsuta did for Sanfrecce's equalizer. Meanwhile, Marco Casambre unfortunately can't carry on, so Konate Bandiogu, the 19-year-old from Mali, has replaced him. And as things stand, he's dropped into the same position. Always comfortably going wide from Makoto Mitsuta. But are we seeing the turnaround coming in this match now? Will Sanfrecce pull away? You feel for Patrick Dato, beaten by that goal from Alan Inoue. Really little that he could have done to anticipate it. Sota Koshimichi goes back to the captain Nakano. Matsumoto, whose initial cross and run forward started the whole attack that led to Sanfrecce Hiroshima's goal. Away by Bandiogu. Might just keep that in a way, he did, and oh, that was calmly done, wasn't it, from Simone Rota? They're winning the ball back effectively now, Sanfrecce taking most of the possession and looking like they're going to make things very difficult for Kaya FC-Iloilo in the remaining 20 or so minutes. Here's another chance, and the goalkeeper does excellently. Patrick Dato had to be agile there to get both of his hands on that and hold it. Matsuta ready to strike. Just took a little deflection. But he had to get there because Inoue was ready to put it in. Furthest forward is Robert Mendy. Now it's Horikoshi who's in the most advanced position for Kaya. And they will get an opportunity once more from a corner kick. Well, they've had to deal with quite a bit of pressure, the Kaya players. Can they inflict some of their own? Bandiogu with a difficult shot to get right. But much better that from the home team after a few minutes of really being passengers. Just a moment now to hydrate and to pause, and a moment for him to celebrate Alan Inoue. First ever professional goal. Poor old Shuto Komaki just steering it right into Alan Inoue. But he was in the right place. And they are now in not such a good place. Kaya FC-Iloilo, they were staring at the prospect of 6 points with 2 fixtures to go. It becomes a harder job now to get into the round of 16. Fitch Arboleda and Marwin Angeles both coming on. Two very experienced players. So the captain, Audi Menzi, is going off. It looks as though Eric Esso is also departing. So on comes number 22, Fitch Arboleda from Romblon, the archipelagic province in the north of the Philippines. Joined the club 3 years ago after 9 years at Stallion Laguna. And we'll come back to Marwin Angeles in a moment after this attack has concluded, because Sanfrecce are looking dangerous every time they get the ball now. Arboleda, by the way, is also a coach. He is the head coach of Beach Hut, a women's team that has played in national competitions. And his fellow substitute, number 8, Marwin Angeles, actually born in Venice in Italy. He rejoined the club 2 years ago after some time at Persig Kediri, after spending 5 years at the club from 2017 to 2022. Very bright gentleman, Marwin Angeles, as well, a graduate of electronic engineering. As Kaya FC-Iloilo, with those final changes, seek to engineer a better result and a better position in the group. Making the run forward, Midster. Instead it goes to Koshimichi. One imagines that the majority of the Cairo FC-Iloilo fans would have been thrilled before the match at the prospect of a 1-1 draw with Sanfrecce Hiroshima. And yet there might be the sort of suspicion, we'll come back to that, because they could be about to find themselves in a worse position, as Mitsuta couldn't get in to a shooting position of his own. As I was going to say, there might be that sort of sneaking suspicion from Cairo FC-Iloilo that they would be unfortunate to depart this match not winning it. They would probably think back to that free kick from Melissa that very nearly beat Yudai Tanaka, and to the slightly fortuitous circumstances of Inoue's equaliser, although the Sanfrecce fans might say something similar of Shuto Komaki's goal. Or so minutes and additional time, and quite a decent amount of it to be added. Time enough for somebody to win the game. And now Marcos Junior. The final change for Sanfrecce Hiroshima is Piero Sotiriou replaces him. 31-year-old Cypriot who joined the club in 2022 from Ludogorets in Bulgaria. 7 goals in 23 matches in the league. Masses of experience in UEFA competitions before coming to the AFC. 19 goals in 83 matches in the UEFA Champions League and Europa League for various clubs. So safe to say a very dangerous and quite in-form striker who's been brought on. Marcos Junior did have that very good chance in the first half. From quite close to goal in a very central position with his head. Mendy. Oh, well, the referee with a very quick and clear decision to caution Robert Mendy. There was absolutely no doubt in the mind of Omar Al-Yacoubi. It's a very ill-judged challenge from Robert Mendy. If you look at the amount of control he's actually got, really was a little reckless, and A yellow card is the outcome. Pushed away by Rota to Andiogu. Mitsuta. They've worked this nicely. It's Nakano, but he's offside. A point of no great consequence for Sanfrecce Hiroshima because they started this match secure of a place in the round of 16. Here's Nakano to 32, Sota Koshimichi, who's forced back by Bandiogu effectively. Substitute Piero Sotiriou. And an important piece of play there from Simone Rota, and calmly done to play it back to Deto. There was a moment there where Bandiogu might have played in Horikoshi. Instead, he rather aimlessly hit it towards the other wing. Horikoshi hasn't had the sort of freedom down the left wing that he had in the first half. He's not been anything like as troublesome, and that's a credit to Sanfrecce Hiroshima and the changes that were made by Michael Schiebe. Controlled by Mendy, but he had no options. I don't think he knew that Horikoshi was arriving just behind him. Could only really see out to the right wing. Nakano. Koshimichi plays it on quite quickly for Sotiriou. And this is Inoue. Needs a little support. Goes back out to Taishi Matsumoto. Sotiriou is, I was about to say, in a decent position, and he's just communicating there with the left wing. Didn't get the sort of ball he wanted. No foul. Shake of the head from Omar Al Yacoubi. Pressure being applied to Kaya FC-Iloilo in the final minutes of the match. Although they've had some of that pressure relieved by a foul on Horikoshi by Koshimichi. Oh, very, very messy from Sanfrecce Hiroshima, but with no ultimate punishment. That's the sort of thing that can transform the match in the final stages. A little loss of concentration, a gift for the opposition. Now it's a more positive spell for Kaya after a lot of good work from Sanfrecce. Very unclear as to what we're going to see in the closing minutes. A draw, perfectly plausible. Either of these teams getting a winner seems entirely as likely as the other. It's been a thoroughly competitive match. Additional time is impending, and we will find out how much is to be added on, especially considering that injury to Naoto Arai early on in the second half. Horikoshi needs the support of Bandiogu. Here is Horikoshi again, trying to move inside. The idea was a sound one. The chance might be about to come. Just cleared away as there was a real opportunity emerging for Kaya FC-Iloilo. 6 additional minutes are now in progress. Tough game for his players. And a yellow card shown as well by Omar Al-Yakubi. It was to the head coach, Sanfrecce Hiroshima. Poked through, tough to keep in play, and they've done well. Lurking around is Sotirio, hoping it's going to be played into him. And so forward Nakajima and Koshimichi, and it just finds Patrick Dato. Happy to use up the time, because this will be a very strong result for Kaya, a 1-1 draw with Sanfrecce. (3-0) on match day 1 in Hiroshima. It's been such a different energy in Manila. Taishi Matsumoto. Out it goes to Shuto Nakano. Very determined defensive effort now being made by Kaya, just to hold on. Maybe as a real luxury to sneak a counter-attack, but principally just to get this draw secured. But they may not be able to. It's offside though. Nervous moment for the home team. Definitely sneaks ahead. Taishi Matsumoto. And a yellow card, I think, is being given there to Patrick Dato. Taking too long to restart the game. With one more match to go, Kaya would find themselves on 4 points. And it's going to be a very interesting conclusion to Group E to see who it is, as we have confirmation of that yellow card for Dato that actually makes it into the knockout stage to join Sanfrecce. Now, Sydney FC are on 9 points. So, Kaya have got to find a way to be victorious in order to take this down to the very last moments of the group stage. Nonetheless, a draw, a very fine result for them. Feel rather inadequate comfort. Headed away by Saito, and this could be the winner coming right now for Sanfrecce, and it's amazingly cleared. Scramble around the goal there, but it looks as though things are coming to an end now for Kaya. Unless they can sneak a win with one last flamboyant counter-attack. Well, it really has been a fine effort from Kaya FC-Iloilo, but regrettably their time has come to an end in the group stage of the AFC Champions League Two. Sanfrecce Hiroshima drawing with them, and that draw sufficient to mean they cannot overtake Sydney FC in second place in the group going into the final match day. The equaliser from Alan Inoue in the second half, drawing them level after Shuto Komaki had given the home team the lead. It finishes Kaya FC-Iloilo 1, Sanfrecce Hiroshima 1.
AFC Champions League Two and other AFC competitions. Ladies and gentlemen,